All right, so today is 26, and this is the Quiz 3 study guide. All right, solve the absolute value equation, graph the solution. Number 1 is pretty straightforward, so I'm going to do number 2. And we've got 2 times the absolute value of 2x minus 1. No, 1 is just do it. I've already done examples like that, and they're in your notes, so I thought I would do one that's a little more difficult. All right, when you're solving these absolute value problems, you got to get this absolute value symbol by itself first. So in this case, you would add 8 to each side. And you would get 2 times the absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equal to 2. And then you would divide both sides by 2. And you've got the absolute value of 2x minus 1 equal to 1. Now that the absolute value symbol is by itself on the left-hand side, you write your two equations. So you write 2x minus 1 is equal to 1, and you write 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 1. You solve them both. So we're adding 1 to this left equation, and we're going to get 2x equals 2, and then we're going to divide by 2, and x equals 1. Then we're going to add 1 right here to both sides. We're going to get 2x is equal to 0, and we're going to divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to 0. And then it asks you to graph your solution. So when you graph your solution, here's your number line. Put the 0 on it, and you put the 1 on it. And it's just a closed circle on the 0 and a closed circle on the 1. You're finished. They're just points. Yep. Number 3, I've done that in your notes multiple times. That's an absolute value equal to a negative. Hopefully everybody recognizes that. That's a no solution. And then number 4 is just like the one I just did. All right. So now that takes us into number 5. And look at the second part of the directions there. It says to solve it and then check for extraneous solutions. That means you have to substitute your answer when you're finished. So look, we got 2 times the absolute value of 2 minus 4x is equal to 4x plus 4. You got to get the absolute value symbol by itself. So you're going to divide both sides by 2. Now, be careful on this right-hand side. You got to divide everything by 2. This cancels out. You get the absolute value of 2 minus 4x on the left, and it's equal to 4x divided by 2 is 2x, and 4 divided by 2 is positive 2. Now you can write your two equations, but again, you got to be careful. We talked about this in the notes the other day. Your first equation is 2 minus 4x equals 2x plus 2. In your second equation, you have to negate everything on the right side. So you get 2 minus 4x is equal to negative 2x minus 2. you turn everything on the right-hand side negative or opposite. If it's already negative, you make it positive. If it's positive, you make it negative. So on this left-hand equation, we're going to solve it. We're going to add 4x to each side. We get 2 is equal to 6x plus 2. Gonna divide by, nope, check that. We're gonna subtract 2 from each side. And we get 0 equals 6x, and then divide by 6. So 0 equals x. There's one of the solutions. One of the potential solutions. We're going to solve this equation on the right. We're going to add 4x to each side. So we get 2 is equal to 2x minus 2. And then we're going to add 2 to both sides here. And 4 is equal to 2x. Going to divide both sides by 2. And we get 2 equal to x. We're going to check it in the original equation right now. Now we're going back to the original equation and checking them both. So here's your original equation. We got 2 times the absolute value of 2 minus 4 times x, which is 0, is equal to 4 times 0 plus 4. So on this left-hand side, we got 2 times the absolute value of 2 minus 0 equals 0 plus 4. So on this left-hand side again, 2 times the absolute, what's 2 minus 0? 2. What's the absolute value of 2? No, absolute values are always positive. The absolute value of 2 is 2 times 2 is 4. And what's 0 plus 4? 4. That solution works. Now we have to do the same thing with the other solution. So we're going to take 2 times the absolute value of 2 minus 4 times 2 is equal to 4 times 2 plus 4. We get 2 times the absolute value of this, in this absolute value symbol is 2 minus 8. And 2 minus 8 is negative 6. And we got to see if that's equal to 4 times 2, which is 8 plus 4 is 12. So what's the absolute value of negative 6? Times 2. 12. So we get 12 equals 12. So both solutions work. Yeah. I did 2 minus 4 times 2. So that's 2 minus 8. And 2 minus 8 is the negative 6. Yeah. Then I took 2 times the absolute value of negative 6. And negative, right? Well, 2, a number next to the absolute value symbol means multiplication. All right. So then we're going to do I'm going to do I'll do a less than problem, then I'll do a greater than problem. So number 7, we got the absolute value of 4x plus 2 less than or equal to 18. Now remember, if you have the absolute value symbol on the left by itself and a less than symbol or a less than or equal to symbol, this was the easier of the two techniques. You rewrite this. You take the opposite of this 18 and you write it right here. You write the symbol right here. You drop down what's inside the absolute value symbol. That's your 4x plus 2. And then you drop down the symbol again, and you drop down the positive 18. This is only when it's less than, and the absolute value symbol's by itself. So now you subtract 2, and subtract 2. So we get negative 20 less than or equal to 4x, which is less than or equal to 16. Then we're going to divide everything by 4. So negative 5 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 4. And then we got to graph it. So we got our negative 5 on the number line, and we got our 4 on the number line. Your symbols are or equal to, so we're closed on both. All right, and your x, see how your x is in the middle of your two solutions? So you're going to be shading in between the solutions. All right, there's your x less than or equal to 4, so here's less than, and then greater than or equal to the negative 5. And then we'll do one greater than problem because that technique is a little bit different. So number 9, we got the absolute value of 5x plus 10 greater than 10. So you've got the absolute value symbol on the left by itself. So you rewrite the equation the same way that it is, and you drop the absolute value. So we got 5x plus 10 greater than 10. And then you rewrite it the second time as 5x plus 10. Now you change the direction of the inequality, and you negate the 10. So you make it negative 10. And go ahead and solve them both and then graph it. So you can subtract 10 from each side right here. So 5x is greater than 0, and divide by 5. You get an x greater than 0. If you subtract 10 from both sides on this other equation, you you get 5x is less than negative 20. You can divide both sides by 5. X is less than negative 4. You graph your negative 4. You graph your 0. We are greater than 0, so we're open, and we're greater than 0. We are less than the negative 4, so we're open again, and we are less than the negative 4. You watching cartoons? All right, so that's it for the study guide. What I want you to do now is go through the study guide and do the problems that I didn't do. Those are the answers on the back.